Welcome to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. I'm Calvin. Thank y'all so much for stopping by again today. Rainy Tuesday morning. I've got some friends coming by from Canada. I hope they're able to make it. I don't know if y'all going to be able to hear the rain, but you can certainly see it. I guess it's the remnants of that hurricane that's still in the Philippine area of responsibility. But I want to talk about something serious today, which I always talk about serious stuff. If y'all haven't been watching the adventures of Rampage Jackson in the Philippines, shame on you, man. He is hilarious. His videos are so funny, and they're just what this Philippines genre needs right now. We really need to lighten up, guys. He's showing you what a great country this is and what a great time you could have in this country. But go watch his videos that he's making here in the Philippines, man. Shout out to Kaz. He sent me the link, man, and I'm glad you did, brother. But it's just what we need. We take ourselves too seriously over here, man. It's not that serious, guys, okay? I made a 40-second clip from a 2-hour live stream talking about, I don't give a damn if you don't like me for the color of my skin. And I be damn, it's almost got 10,000 views, guys. It's not that serious. But shout out to Rampage Jackson and his sidekick. He's got a fat sidekick. You don't know, you're just what we needed over here. But I want to talk about how having sex every day changed my life. You know, I'm coming from America. You know, we're so conservative when it comes to that. Just mention sex and people go crazy. But according to the experts, not the expats, you know, sex is a known stress buster. I think we all know that. It elevates your mood immediately, but it's absolutely normal to have sex every day. He was like, Cal, you can't have sex every day. Yes, I can, in some kind of way. You know, barring, you know, my partner's physical situation. But not only is regular sexual activity normal, but it's a healthy part of an adult life. We all know the benefits that come from it. I just want to talk about how it changed my life. You know, you're looking at me like, oh, there's no way you can have sex every day. Yes, you can, because you've done it before. You're probably doing it now. When you're on that honeymoon, when you're in that honeymoon phase or on your honeymoon after getting married, you're having sex 2 or 3 times a day. And you can't get enough of each other. It's just that I've just been on a honeymoon period for almost 17 years. You know, I'm going to talk a little bit more about this on my live stream later on today, if the weather permits. But it's done so much for me because when I came over here in the Philippines, man, I was just a ball of anxiety and depression. You know, if you don't think having sex is natural and healthy, look up the disadvantages of not having sex. But yeah, everybody, you can look back on sometime in your life and say, yeah, I had sex every single day. Of course, you got to talk with your partner. Okay, because one thing that it really did for me, or it does for me, it builds that bond. You know, because some people say, oh, yeah, you're just whipped. But no, really, sex not only has physical benefits, but also emotional benefits. You know, when you think a man is whipped or a woman is whipped, it's usually, that's when you know that they're having regular sex all the time, because it builds that bond. It solidifies that bond, which is real important in a relationship. And if you don't have that, man, you don't have a whole lot. You know, I don't get sick over here. You know, every now and then, but most people, when they come over here, they get these cold-like symptoms. I don't get them anymore. It's a lot of stuff that doesn't happen to me anymore. I'll go to the gym and work out like a beast and come back and don't have no physical pain. I don't get up in the morning. And I attribute that, you know, to having sex all the time. You know, my mood is so much better, even though people think I'm angry, I'm not. It's just my passion, ladies and gentlemen. That's all it is. And you say, well, Cal, a woman can't have sex every day. Well, some of them can. And then if your partner says, oh, I'm sore, I'm irritated, well, give that part a break and do something else. I talk about this all the time because this is important. Sex is just as natural as breathing. I don't know why we get so offended by it. A lot of it has to do with religion. Religion is really just really messed up our minds, our thinking, and that's one of the reasons why there's so many divorces and so many separations. We bring Jesus into the bedroom, but I don't even want to get into that. But biologists say that a man wants sex every day. We've got testosterone, guys. It makes us want to have sex. It's natural. Woman, according to biologists, it's only 7 days of a month. So you have to work something out. You got to get that established early. She can't read your mind. And ladies, you can't read our mind. It's okay to open up and talk about this stuff. I know the Philippines is very religious and stuff like that, but somebody's having sex over here. The population has doubled in the last 50 years. You don't believe me? Go on, no, the last 40 years. Go on YouTube, there's a video of then President Ferdinand Marcos Sr. He's at the White House. Reagan is hosting him, and as soon as he walks up to the podium, he says, I want to thank, on behalf of the First Lady of the Philippines and all the people of the Philippines, all the there's like 40 something million Filipinos. We want to thank Reagan for his appearance. And I fell out of my seat. I was like, no way, it's 50 million people in 1984. Yeah, now it's over 110 million or something like that 40 years later. Population's doubled. But we get all bent out of shape. All you got to do is say sex, guys, And certainly in the same sentence with the Philippines, and people go crazy, there's nothing to go crazy about. If you want to go without it and think it's going to help your life and think it's going to make you a better human being, then that's on you. But for me, I need my sexual activity. I need my regular sexual activity. It's changed my life. I'm a different man than I was before I started coming over here. I'm fighting, I'm arguing with my then American spouse because she was using sex as a battering ram, hitting me upside my head, a bargaining tool. I'm begging all the time. I'm stressed out. I didn't even want to come home. But when I started coming over here and talking and being more open with my partner, things changed. It changed overnight. So thank y'all so much for stopping by. I want to have more discussions about this grown-up stuff and what really having a good retirement is all about. We don't talk enough about the fourth quarter and what little we know of life. Of death. Life should be a paradise, guys. Don't worry about that. Human beings are the only ones who can think about death and certainly worry about it. I'm looking at my dogs right here. They're not worried about dying and going to heaven and all that stuff. That's us with this stuff. But I'm going to tell you something. Regular sex every day, not only is natural, but it's healthy. And it's completely normal. So if you're in America, if you're in the Philippines, wherever you are, find in your heart to help somebody. Not a day goes by that I don't help somebody. Every single day. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. When we help other people, we help ourselves. They care. They stay out of trouble. I'll see you next time. Don't do anything stupid. Sex is natural, guys. It's just as natural as breathing. Don't get all bent out of shape. I hope that you're having a healthy sex life. I just have one partner. I'm not jumping around. See, that when you start doing that kind of stuff like that, it brings risk with that. If you got one committed partner, man, you can't beat it. Physically, mentally, spiritually. I'm a different human being.
boots on the ground. Don't do nothing stupid. Give that man his flowers. A tribute through music.
If I don't know nothing, I know one thing.